Epic Gaming Night is sponsored by Analog Gamer. Check out Analog Gamer for high-quality board game apparel. You can find Epic Gaming Night shirts and much more at analoggamer.com. This is Epic Gaming Night, a podcast about board games and the stories and relationships they create. Welcome to the Epic Gaming Night podcast, a podcast about tabletop games, but mostly board games. I'm your host, Roy Candy, and with me, as always, is Matt.
Hello?
And Rob.
Hello, hello.
And we have a special guest back with us tonight, our sponsor, Brandon from Analog Gamer.
Hello. Brandon. Oh, he's so cute. Oh.
I'm pretty sure last time you guys heard
was...
Brandon on our show, he was ruthlessly murdered by werewolves.
Still hurts.
That was unfortunate.
Man, that show was so crazy. Can you believe we've had 15 more episodes since then?
I don't. Yeah, it's crazy. It's awesome.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's okay. That's how time functions.
We podcast some.
We do these once a week.
So if anybody doesn't know who you are, Brandon, or what you do in the board game industry, give us your spiel.
This year's winner. Sorry.
Codenames.
It's pretty simple. I just make t-shirts for board gamers. So I make t-shirts for you guys and a bunch of other podcasts and a few game companies. And yeah, I just like board games and like t-shirts. So I put them together and made a website, analoggamer.com.
Hype.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Well, this episode is going to be all about Gencon 2016. Basically, like our little preview talk about Gencon episode. Brandon's actually going to be staying with us in our hotel room at Gencon, so we're like all going to be together. And Matt's coming this year too, so it's going to be super
Matt
awesome.
is a Gencon virgin.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a little terrifying. But
It's okay.
before we get
the
into all
hotel room
that,
will be bloody.
first we'll get into the news. So one thing I want to announce is that we had a contest winner for our YouTube contest we were having. We're having like a subscription thing where you could go to one of our YouTube videos and comment your favorite game. And the winner was WM Burke 81.
What?
And we've emailed him and got his information, so we'll be sending the 3 games out, Codenames, Spyfall, and One Night Ultimate Werewolf, which is awesome. And his favorite game was Above and Below.
I've heard good things about the game.
I've heard good things, which is sad. Like, out of all those games, it was one game that I hadn't played, so I texted my friend Trevor, who's like in love with Ryan Lockett, and he'll love that I said that out loud on the podcast. But he like loves all his games, so I'm like, dude, bring Above and Below, man. We need to play it since I haven't got a chance to play it yet. So hopefully I'll get to rectify that this weekend.
Oh, that's right, this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are we still doing
Friday? Game night Friday, you know.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we were still doing it this week.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it.
Hey.
Since we're leaving in like a week and a half.
Yeah, we're going to be gone like hardcore.
No, not even a week and a half, bro. A week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow. Time off.
I'm glad I don't have to work. Hooray!
I know, I'm glad you asked off. We are leaving Wednesday, and I'll leave early Wednesday morning if you guys want to. We can get some breakfast, maybe do like a Cracker Barrel run, enjoy ourselves, and then just drive. Nice. Because last year at Gen Con, I drove all through the night, and Brandon, beautiful Brandon, and his even more beautiful wife saved the day, and they brought me coffee. And it was still terrible because I was exhausted. And I played games I didn't even know I was playing. And that really happened. I played a game and I was like, what's going on?
Hey, but I did beat you in ashes when you were half asleep. It's okay.
I was half asleep, and knowing what I know now, it was the worst pre-constructed deck out there, the one with the Iron Rhinos. So anyway, but that's
excuses.
So that's why this year I said, hey guys, we'll leave a day early and I'll pay for the hotel myself for the extra day. I'm just getting some sleep.
Awesome. Well, we'll go into our next bit of news. This is a crazy one, and I really want to see Rob's opinion on this. But the
Okay.
Asmodee is set to acquire F2Z. F2Z has Z-Man Games and Pretzel Games, and the big one is Plaid Hat Games. So
Boo.
there, Asmodee is the conglomerate that owns all the Asmodee
Everything.
games. They own
Yeah.
Catan. They own Fantasy Flight. They own
Unless you're
most
Cool Mini or
of-
not, they own you.
Yep.
Don't worry, they'll
and-
soon own Cool Mini or not, and then they'll go for
Don't say
Hasbro.
that, Matt. Please don't say that.
They're just gonna run it into the ground. It's fine.
I mean, it's interesting because I haven't seen anything like super negative. Like, I love those games. Like, I love the brand that they have for all of that stuff. So, do you think like one company owning majority of the board games that are out there is a terrible thing, or
Yes.
what do you think?
I think it will be. I don't think we're there yet. For example, we haven't really seen any of. Oh, somebody's got the audio.
Sorry, it's me.
But like we haven't seen any hiccups yet with Fantasy Flight. Fantasy Flight was a big purchase last year, and we haven't seen any hiccups from that yet. But one thing that we know from a little bit of an insider point of view, and it's not so much in the Asmodee, but when F2Z acquired Plaid Hat Games, we know that there were some games that were being worked on that were put on the back burner for other games. And so that's why I'm so against this, because some of those games that were put on the back burner to me sounded like fantastic ideas. I'm not going to say the designer or anything like that, but we just know that happened. And I can only imagine it becoming even more of an issue when you get to a bigger company and a bigger scale.
Just the publishers and stuff like that not having the freedom to just put out anything.
Well, no, they
want
don't.
to.
Yeah, they can't
They have
anymore.
to,
And
put
imagine
out the
if
thing
you're
that's going to
Colby.
make the most dollars.
Yeah. I would really love to have like a candid one-on-one interview with Colby about this. Like, and I don't know if he could say anything, but I don't know how he could be that excited for this, because he just sold a year ago to F2Z, and that was like, I really like that partnership. First of all, Colby has been fans and friends with Z-Man Games for a while. They've had different ideas. They've even had Z-Man on the show before and done different interviews. And so that kind of made sense. Like, okay, two big independent publishers coming together, because Z-Man Games with Pandemic and everything like that, and then Plaid Hat Games with Summoner Wars, Ashes, and Dead of Winter. So you had two big independent studios coming together. And that same year, Z-Man Games came out with Pretzel Games, which is basically their party line division of Z-Man Games. It's the same company. It's just they release it under Pretzel Games. So now you have this, like, you have the studio that can compete. I mean, they really have shelf space there with some of the big players, and now they're being bought out. Like, I can't imagine, unless the paycheck is like, you know what, I feel great and I don't care. But I would really be interested to know in Colby's opinion. I don't know if he would ever give it to us honestly on air.
So, do you think that this will make like Asmodee even more of like a powerhouse? Like, do you think they're going after
Absolutely.
like the mass market? Like, they're going after Hasbro,
They
trying to
absolutely are.
have
Yeah,
the
but-
shelf space that's at those big box stores. Like, instead
here's
of
the thing,
seeing
though.
Monopoly and all that stuff, you see all the Asmodee stuff. Like, that
Why
would
do
be
they have
awesome to me.
No. Yes and no. I would say decrease some of the monopoly, sure. But why compete with Hasbro? They really don't do anything. They're really not a player unless you're talking about small family games or classic games. If you want that Monopoly or Catchphrase or the original Risk, yes, Hasbro is your competition. But they're not. They're not on the same playing field with these other companies, with Fantasy Flight and Asmodee as an individual company itself. So why
But
buy all
Hasbro
these-
Hasbro's still a bigger company, and that's probably why they have that market share, is just because they're so huge.
Yeah, but
Okay,
Hasbro
but let me ask
also
you this.
does
The board
so
gaming
many
trend
other
is-
things other than board games.
Right.
And the board gaming has grown. You guys work in retail. I mean, let's just say, from your point of view, in the past 3+ years, have you not seen board games take a bigger shelf space at your store than ever before?
I
And
mean,
at your store, you guys work at Target. That's a huge chain. You know how much they pay for shelf space? That's a really big deal. You don't just put your stuff out on Target. And so the fact that you're actually having decent, not even just decent, but good games at these big stores anyway, why do they need to compete with Hasbro? They're right beside Hasbro already. I mean, Codenames is at Target. I mean, you got all these other big games. There's some Dead of Winter you could get at those stores and stuff like that. I mean, why?
Online, but you can't. It's like not on the shelf.
Maybe
You
not
get
at yours.
It depends
I've
on
seen
what
it at
store.
others. But anyway, I'm salty about it. We've already talked about this in the car. I'm just not crazy about it. I believe it's really going to limit the idea of creativity.
Yeah, I think what you're going to see is eventually they'll get to the point where if they have like, let's say they have a down quarter where they didn't make as much as they thought they did, all of a sudden each of these publishers that they now have are going to be limited to making one game for like the next quarter, the next year, or something like that. And then you're going to see this big stagnation. So you're going to see a push towards larger games and like bigger box games and things that are going to attract more money because they're going to MSRP at $100, and you're going to see less like $20 games is what I feel like.
So not as many pet projects and like interesting games that
you're going to see sort of innovation fall to the wayside unless you have something that's going to be like sort of proven to be good, or unless it's good enough that they might take a chance on it, like the legacy mechanic with like how Hasbro did Risk Legacy was kind of one of those like I don't know, and it turned out great. So
nice.
I would love for some of these studios to, for example, like Colby, to like, let's say this really does happen. I'm still holding out for like a meteor shower or something to ruin this deal. But let's say it really happens. For Colby to take a buyout and start a brand new company and take some of his designers with him. I mean, I understand he's not going to be able to keep everybody, but a lot of his top designers now are actually independent contractors. Like Jerry Hawthorne has an office at Plaid Hat, but he's an independent artist. I mean, so it's, I don't know. I don't like the idea of a board game Walmart, and that's what it seems like Asmodee is becoming. They just have everything, and I don't see how it could be good. I could see this as starting to be the downfall of good games. Because how many great games, Roy, you and I were talking about this on our way to Mega Moose Con. There are a lot of great games that we like and enjoy that are $20, $30, right? And we like and enjoy them because they offer the same things as those $50 to $100 games, but maybe the components aren't necessarily the same, but they're more affordable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, based off of Matt's analogy, and I mostly agree with what he said, I can totally see companies pushing for that big box, and it's going to constantly just weed out that small game that offers just as much good games. And I think that'll also, it could end up hurting board gaming hobbies in general, because not everyone's going to pay $75 plus per game.
Right.
Not everyone just wants to, okay, well, if we want this game, we're going to have to pay for this. It's like, come on, like, don't kill the creativity. And we've already seen it in small doses with other companies. I can't imagine how much has happened behind the scenes with Days of Wonder or Asmodee or FFG or a couple of the other companies that they own now that wasn't made public to us. Sorry.
The other thing, one last point from me, because we're just gonna rag on this hard. But like, it's one of those things that you were saying, like, board gaming is like in a golden age, and it's continuing to go up, and when will the bubble burst? But it's only going to take like all of the people who are like at my level, who aren't like super hardcore hobbyists like you guys who are really into this. Like, so if I make $100 investment off of an Asmodee game or one of its subsidiaries now, and it's just trash, I'm just done. Because like board games are one of these things that you just have and you collect. People don't trade them out that often, so you just go, cool, this is what I got, this is what I like. And then you see people start buying less just because of one game that might be bad, and then you see a plateau in the market. And then this one company that now has this huge market share and goes into a plateau, it's going to be a very bad thing, because they're going to start, just scaling back, or, they'll start closing some of these particular publishers to save money and cut back here and there, and you're going to see like just crazy bad stuff happen. Now that's, if something bad goes wrong, and it might not, but
So all in all, you just want it to be more about the passion for the board gaming hobby as opposed to money. Like,
I would like capitalism. I would like capitalism to work as opposed to one company controlling everything.
Yeah, this is definitely a monopoly that they are creating. In the sense, it really is a monopoly. And and I don't. I mean, Brandon makes T-shirts to make money. As much as he likes T-shirts, he also has to, make enough so his daughter can take off her T-shirts and just run around crazy like my daughter does. So I get that, but it's not so much about the money that's bothering me. It's the idea of creativity going away. And without releasing names or information, we've already seen that with other companies in the past.
Well,
and I can't imagine.
You can just make sure to spend your money at smaller companies so they can become medium companies and get bought out by Asmodee.
Yeah.
I mean,
Got him.
yeah. What do you think, Brandon?
I see both sides of it. I mean, as a business owner, you got to make a decision at a certain point. Do you want to run a business for the rest of your life, or do you, because that's your baby, or do you want to sell it and take the money and then do what you want to do or stick around? So
most of the time they have the people like staying there and still running their part of it. It's just they're underneath their umbrella of stuff that they control, which gives them access to all of their warehouses and all of their stuff.
Exactly.
It gives the publishers more stuff to fall back on, which could be better, but like you guys said, it's that one company is owning everything, so it makes it kind of
go for it.
Now you go, Brandon.
Well, I was just gonna. I mean, I definitely see that. I also think that at a certain point, other companies will start to come up into place too. I mean, this does give an area for smaller companies to kind of come into spotlight and do some cool things. Even though we love a lot of these companies that have been acquired by them, it kind of moves just the spotlight a little bit off. Some of these smaller companies that become medium, then big, and then bought out. Now there's other companies up and coming that could make something cool too. Some guy in his basement right now is working on a game and gives him the opportunity. So I don't know. I don't like that it's a huge monopoly, but it's hard to say what the future will hold. I don't know.
And that's another thing, is that most of the game designers are like all freelancers, like you said. Most, like everybody, like Eric Lang, he makes games for all sorts of different people. Like all these different guys who make games, most of the time they aren't exclusive to one company. They're like, okay, well, I'll make a game with you guys, and I'll make a game with you guys over here. So I mean, hopefully they're still allowing designers to be creative, and if they're not able to be creative with Asmodee, maybe they can find another publisher or another avenue to still be creative and get the amazing game that they made in their basement out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to how they're going to run it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Yeah.
So Rob, do you want to talk about our friend Doug's thing?
Yes. Another part of the news is Meriday Games is holding a get-together at Gencon between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m., and it's going to be held at the Colts Grill. They are debuting a couple of games. One or a couple of them are dexterity flicking games, and one is our favorite, a Euro style game. But the reason why I wanted to promote this is Doug Bass is a local designer here in town. He's designed the game Garden Dice, which is now on I think it's like third or fourth printing, so it's obviously done very, very well for itself. But I always like to promote the local guy and try to help them out. And Doug, he actually started the biggest local gaming group here in Winston-Salem, and so he's really passionate about the games and products, and he's just a fun, cool guy. You never know what color his hair is going to be every time I see him. I mean, for the first year I saw it was like a bright beet red, and now it's gray or something. But anyway, he's a cool guy, a lot of fun, like Doug. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to that event. Go demo some games. I think they may have some snacks and some food as well there, but they're going to be demoing games. And the good thing I like about this event is it's happening between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m., between midnight. So that way you can still get a lot of the other events and things you wanted to go to, and then swing by this place and check it out. So, and then one last shout out for local stuff. Joe Hunt with Joe Hunt's company, Dragon Draft. His Kickstarter is still going on. Another local guy. It's a trip-taking game. If you get a chance, check it out on Kickstarter. I played it before. Sorry, I ate like a gummy worm before the show started, and now it's like trying to crawl out of me. Sorry, Joe. But Dragon Draft, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's a good trip-taking game. And he hired an artist, redid all of the art in the game. It looks really nice. And price point is very, very, very competitive. It's only $20. And it's a game that you can play in teams and in groups and stuff like that. So check those two out. And that's it.
Awesome. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get into what we've been playing. Try to make this quick. Brandon, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So I finally got the chance to try, because my game store finally got one in, Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And man, that game rocks. It lives up to the hype. It definitely does. I got it probably a few weeks ago, and I've been just itching to get it to the table. And then like the past week, I've played it, I think, like 4 times with 4 different groups. And then, but yeah, I mean, it's a simple deduction game. I kind of view it as like a mix between Clue and The Resistance, kind of. I don't know. That's kind of how I've been explaining it to friends. And I've played it with like the lowest player count to the highest player count, and each game has been awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the highest player count on that thing?
12. And I played that on Sunday night.
That's awesome.
We played outside at this huge table, and pretty much no one could sit down because you had to like walk around and look at the cards and all that stuff. And it was the first time I played with the witness and the accomplice.
Yeah.
And my one friend who got the witness card, he played it so light, like he didn't help at all. And so the murderer and the accomplice got off in one. And it was also my fault because I was the forensic scientist, and the clue was drowning, and then party invitation. And I could get them sniffing around drowning all day long. Like the first thing they went to is that, but the invitation, I could not get the right card to just
that's tough.
Oh, and I was just sitting there like, you guys are literally on top of it. But there was book, one other thing, and then invitation, and then one other simple thing, but I just could not get that. They did they guessed drowning and all the other 3, but not invitation. And then at the end, they're like, there's no way it's the invitation. That just is weird. And I'm like, no.
Anytime I've seen the riddle card come up, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know how to. This is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that game is awesome, and I've heard you guys talk about it, and I've been itching to play it, and
absolutely love it.
I'm pretty sure it's like my favorite social deduction game.
Oh, absolutely,
definitely.
My number one.
And I'm actually going to be at the Gray Fox booth Thursday morning and all day Saturday, so I'm hoping to get some chances to demo this to other people, just because it's going to be a fun game to show people how to play. So if you want to come hang out with me and hopefully like me teach you a game, come to the Gray Fox booth. Gray Fox booth, and check out Deception Murder Hong Kong. We're also going to be demoing some other games, London Dread and Seven Ronin. So a lot of really cool looking games I'm super excited about playing. But yeah, Deception is ridiculous.
I'll bring my copy of Deception so we can all play together.
Awesome.
I was going to say, I can bring mine too.
I still love the game that I literally put like 2 tokens out, and like I was the forensic scientist who put 2 tokens out and just won the game. Because immediately
that was me, I guess too. It was flip flops, and I can't remember what the other clue was.
Beach House.
We were playing with AJ,
no,
and we have a buddy whose name is AJ, and he gets me hyped. We just get really stupid, and so him and I are back and forth, and Roy put something like, I think outside was like beach or something like that, and then the other clue was how they died, and I just looked at AJ, and AJ was like, bro, it's flip-flops. And I was like, I think it's chopsticks. All right. I just took my gold coin arms, threw it in. Flip-flops and chopsticks. Oh, we won the game. It was so amazing.
I was the accomplice in the game, and I was so salty because it was just like I was sitting there. And Hector,
hey, at least you didn't have to lose for a long time.
I know. Hector was the murderer, and he picked things, and I was like, cool, they're not going to connect him. And then Roy's like, okay, no, these are the exact clues. And I was like, okay, well, there's not something that's definitively flip-flop. And then AJ's like, chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. And I was like, no, stop with this nonsense, man. Like magician junk. Ugh.
So
it was okay.
Good.
Game's still fun.
But yeah, awesome. Deception Murder Hong Kong, guys. Make sure to check it out. For me, the game I played, we went to Mega MooseCon, which is this convention. I think it was the first year for it. It was down in South Carolina, so a couple hours away. But it was a lot of fun, and actually the Tony from Rolling Dice and Taking Names taught me how to play Piratoons, which is a real-time game where you're trying to build a pirate ship and like collect sets of pieces onto your pirate ship in real time. The way it works is you put all these ship pieces face down on a board, and then you put like a board on top of it and flip it over, and then like there's a timer as well. So on the like, you say go and lift up the board, and everybody places meeples onto the different pieces that they want. When the timer runs all the way out, someone can say stop, and whoever has the majority on a piece gets that piece. Unless there are people that are tied for it, then whoever has the least on there gets a piece. So if there are two people that are tied, then, and one person, like say someone has 3 and then another person has 3 and then one person has 1, the person that only put 1 meeple on there would actually get the thing. If 2 other people tied for it. So if you're paying attention on what's going on, this is a game. It gives me a feel of like the shipbuilding, sort of like Galaxy Trucker, but not nearly as complex. It's really easy to like match the sets and build your ship and stuff like that. It's really easy to tell what's going on. But it gives me that feel of, if you're paying attention and you're like quick in what you're doing, you can see what's happening, and you'd be like, oh, they're tied over there. They don't realize that they're tied. Let me slip one in there real quick. And they're like, oh, I wasted like 3 meeples. I obviously got it. Oh no, they're tied for me. And then you're like, oh, I put 1 on there and I put my other meeples all these other places and got all this other stuff. But it's not necessarily about just grabbing as much stuff as possible, getting as much pieces. It's more about trying to fill out your ship and collect sets, because each empty space in your ship is going to count for negative points, but then each set of things you get count for positive points. So it's all about trying to balance the positive and negative points, trying to get a lot of positive points and not get a bunch of negative points. So we played that game, and it wasn't close. I thought I was losing because I had no clue what was going on. It's this frenzied thing, and the game is really, really quick. As you're playing through and you're building this cool little pirate ship, it's kind of interesting because your ship starts really short and you get like these strips of ship pieces that make your ship longer and longer and longer. But each strip you get has more spaces you need to fill. And if you don't fill those spaces out, you're going to probably end up getting negative points. So you're trying to build your ship bigger, but then also fill it out with like cannons and putting little people on there and different things to get different sets, and make it look like a filled out ship instead of like a bare ship. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I thought I was going to lose. I felt like I had no clue what was going on. And then at the end of the game, it wasn't even close because I had a full ship and everybody else was just trying to get all the pieces, and they made their ships huge, but didn't actually have the correct sets and stuff on there. So it was a lot of fun. Definitely a super quick, like family weight game. But if you don't like games where you're doing stuff as fast as you can, it's a real-time game. It's going to be a little bit stressful as you're throwing stuff on there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. That's Pyratoons. Have any of you guys seen this game?
Yeah.
Nope. I saw you play it.
But yeah, pretty awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. What about you, Rob?
I will go quickly because I really want to talk about our topic tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I played Wizard War for the first time. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to like it. Just stupid and goofy and fun and a lot of backstabbing and trying to screw people over. And you're wizards and you're doing stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. So played Wizard War, and then a game that I've never heard of before, but we played. It was called Dead Last, and this is a social deduction game where everyone gets a color, and you are all, let's just say, for lack of a better explanation, you're robbing.
They call it on the box. Call it a social collusion game or something like that.
So you are robbing a place or something, or you're all bad guys, and everyone gets a card that represents a color of everybody else playing at the board, and everybody at the same time is going to put a card face down. And they're going to flip them up, and the card, whoever has the most colors of their color, which my color came up a lot. I was red. A lot of people wanted to kill me. That person is out, right?
Yes.
If you have the most colors, you're out. And then
anybody who doesn't pick the same thing as the majority is also out. So if me, Hector, and Phil all picked red,
yeah.
Then Trevor picked green and Rob picked black as their color. Since they're not part of the majority group that chose to kill Rob, then we're
automatically out. Yeah.
So you have to try to figure out what other people are voting for, which is not really figure out. You're basically like cluing each other, like, hey, like nudging, like, hey, or like showing the card, like this is what
or
I'm
you're lying
for.
to each other. Because there are a couple times I looked at Roy, and Roy is like, hey, but he was really pointing at me. It's like, hey.
I really, what I like to do is I like to
So-
tell someone to vote for something, and then these people told me to vote for something else, but vote for what they voted for. But then I told that person to vote for something, so they voted for what I said to vote for, and then they're just
Yeah.
out because they didn't vote for what the majority was.
Yeah.
Which is terrible. But
Yes, it is. It's
but it's still
absolutely
fun.
terrible.
I didn't do very good at that game, but I had a blast.
Yeah, I did have a lot of fun. It's quick, but it's not quick. You played at 25 gold pieces, all right? And so the rounds are very quick. But what happens is, like, people eventually catch on, and then everyone's going to gang up on you if you start to gain a lot of gold pieces. And so they're going to keep voting to kill you off or voting to kill your color off. And so
Or
it
trying
can
to
be
trick
tough.
you into doing something
Yeah.
crazy.
But we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. It was like, it's a cheap game too. I think it's like $25. It's called Dead Last. If it's like Cash and Guns ish,
But
but it's
even
like Cash
lighter.
and Guns on steroids. It's lighter and it's faster, and you don't have to worry about powers. It's just who are you voting for color wise? Okay, that person's out next. And if you make it, you keep voting until you're one of the last people.
I think it's another game that plays up to like 12. You could play
Yeah, it
really
plays
quickly.
big groups. Yeah.
So we played it with. Did we play it with 9? Was the highest we played
I think
it with?
at one time we played at 9. I announced at the con, anybody want to play? And I'm loud, but I didn't think I was that loud when I yelled it, and like everybody got quiet in the con. It was pretty cool.
There's also a card where if everybody is pointing at you, you can do the ambush card, and then you don't die. Even though everybody voted for you, you get to pick one of the people that voted for you to die off. So if you think that everybody, like no one's giving you any information, they're probably all going to vote for you, you can pick ambush. But there's a lot of situations where you think everybody's voting for you, you pick ambush, and then no one did, and then you still lose because you didn't vote with the group. So
Yeah.
it's a very thinky game and a very much like trying to clue each other in and like try to group think game, but not. Some people don't let you in on the clues,
No.
which is fun.
But still had a blast.
Awesome. Matt, do you have anything you want to talk about?
No. I mean,
I was wondering since you didn't
I-
get a chance to play with us last weekend.
I didn't do anything. I cleaned some of the blood off my Cards Against Humanity cards.
Hey, that's great.
That's just a
Hold on.
random story that we'll talk about later. But
Okay,
yeah,
because you cleaned blood off of.
yeah, man.
You know how it goes. It's
game-
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, it's it's. If I would have thought about it, the person bleeding, I would have asked them to put a thumbprint on one of the blank cards so that I could just have a blank card that's just a bloody thumbprint that you can play at any given point in time. But I didn't because alcohol. But
Ways to make Cards Against Humanity scarier than it already is.
risk of Hep C.
Oh.
Hooray! No, it's fine. But yeah, no, that's me.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get into our topic tonight, which is Gencon 2016, which we're going to next Wednesday. Yeah. So, which game that is coming out at Gencon are you most looking forward to? We'll start with you again, Brandon.
Well, this one's gonna be simple, and I know it's kind of lame, but Codenames Pictures. Last year, Codenames was such a hit, and it just like seriously, that game still hits my table on a weekly to bi-weekly basis, and I play it with people from my grandma to all my gaming group, and yeah, just love it. And this looks even better, and I think everyone's gonna love it. I don't know. I'm excited. And last year, I literally like walked by and I'm like, that seems like an okay game, and then I demoed it and I'm like, why did I not pre-order this game? It's amazing. And then we were lucky enough to play some other people's copies. But then after the con, it was just like I was having withdrawals. I'm like, I gotta play that game. I gotta play that game.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of funny because last year I called a game store that's like a half hour away from my house, and they got some copies in before the one by my house. And I'm like, I'll just make a drive over there. So that one was a hit. So this one I think is going to be just as good, and I'm excited because I actually haven't even tried like the whole Dixit thing with the cards already, which that seemed fun.
We did try that, and I think that might have spoiled Codename Pictures for us just because Dixit art is so good. Like, Dixit art is so good that, like, when I saw, I was thinking that in my head when I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. They came out with Codename Pictures, and then I saw the art for it, and I'm like, oh, it's like black and white clip art? I mean, that's fine, but I was used to playing Dixit Codenames, which Dixit is ridiculous art.
Yeah.
So
I actually like the Codenames Pictures things better because I feel like when you play with Dixit cards, there's just way too much stuff you can draw from, so it's super easy. The other thing, I didn't think about this until earlier today, but there's the potential to shuffle in Codenames Pictures cards with regular Codenames cards, and then play with words and pictures at the same time.
That'd be interesting.
And I was like,
yeah.
that would be cool.
And I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think it might be a Target exclusive. Maybe it's just a thing that's coming out at Target. But they're having Codenames Deep Undercover.
I saw that, yeah.
Which is basically like Codenames meets Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's basically just Codenames with bad words. I mean, that's basically it.
We ascribe power to words. They are simply words. It's fine.
But yeah, I said you'd just be able to say sex 6, and you're just going to be able to get it. Your whole team,
Man.
your whole thing.
Because it's going to be all 25, and it's going to be like, dicks.
Yeah.
So you're just going to be like, I don't know what to pick.
Weird. But yeah, that'll
gonna
be interesting. I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of like the explicit games, or because I feel like they're funny for like half a second and then they just grate on your nerves real quick. So I'm not a fan of that whole fad, but I guess there's enough people that are into that they'll sell a ton of it.
I mean, Matt literally had to clean blood off of a card, so it's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm their market. It's great.
It's kind of funny because like these two versions of Codenames spawned off of ways that people were playing the game already.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
literally, this undercover thing is because people were playing Codenames with Cards Against Humanity cards, and then the pictures thing is because people were playing Codenames with Dixit cards. Literally, they're just like, oh, people are doing this. We should actually make it the game. So that's kind of interesting that like just like the fandom from Codenames spawned into actually making like official Codenames games.
Yeah.
They're like, let's capitalize on this. So
Well, when you're printing money, why wouldn't you?
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I mean, there's
Hey guys, I just got a text. Check Games is now being bought by Asmodee.
No.
That's so crazy.
Disgusting.
You know you've made it in the board gaming industry when you're bought by Asmodee.
Fantastic.
Good times.
Rob, let's make a game and sell out real fast.
Okay, I would.
Man.
As much as I like board games, it's not my life's passion to be a board game designer. So, like, yeah, I would take that paycheck yesterday.
All right, who wants to go next on a game they're looking forward to?
Not me.
How about you go, Matt?
Not me.
Oh, come on,
Okay,
man.
I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but I'm really looking forward to Cry Havoc. It looks like a ton of fun. It's definitely like right down like mine and Rob's and probably even Matt's like alley of like games we would like to play. Area control, resource management, interesting combat, cool looking miniatures, asymmetrical factions. Like it's got like the blueprints of the style game that I really like, and I've heard like amazing reviews of it so far. So I'm really excited to check that out from Portal Games. But yeah, sounds awesome. I definitely want to try that.
Boom.
Boom.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
go
awesome.
since Matt's ready. It was one game, and we'll come back to that one game. But now, since this game has come out or has been announced, my
Is this going to surpass the one that starts with S?
Oh, he's already bought that one.
I know. I guess you're right.
Oh yes. Let me make that disclaimer. I'm not going to talk about any games that I'm hyped about that I've already purchased. Like, because I purchased Seafall back like in May. Mansions of Madness Second Edition is like Mansions of Madness is already in my top 5 games of all time, and the fact that and it's so crazy because we were just talking about app-driven games or like technology-driven games
on
like
our last
shows
podcast.
ago. And now this one is coming out, and it relies heavily on an app. Like you can't play it without. At least from what I saw, maybe that's changed. I didn't read the official press release, but the Mansion Keeper is run by the app. And the way you put stuff on the board, it's like the app, whether you use an iPad or an iPhone or whatever type of device you use, it's like a Shadow of War type of thing where the whole area is kind of foggy until you enter that room. So you don't know if you're entering a room with monsters or clues or whatever. And I'm so excited for this game. It's like it's really ruined my plans, and I'm really kind of ticked off about it because like I had a whole scheme. I was like, all right, I'm going to pay some people to go get my games over there, and I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to go get this. And now it's like, crap, I've got to go to FFG first. And because you have to, they're already the biggest booth there. It's just awesome. So Mansions of Madness is
I'm hoping they have piles and piles of it. I mean, I'm sure they've got a chance to sell out because they're huge. And if
we're getting there Thursday morning, like at dark 30, and I'm just gonna sit in front of the door for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about this game too because it's definitely one game I'm super excited for. If any of you guys haven't played Mansions of Madness, like, it is an awesome game, and the reason I think it's so awesome is because the way the game works. Like, there's a lot of story in the game, and there's just text that gives you clues about where you need to go next and where you need to find the next piece of the puzzle. And one of the major complaints about the game is that you had to set it all up. Like the keeper who runs the game, there's a person who would normally be the DM. They had to set up the game and make sure everything was in the perfect spot and make sure everything was where it was supposed to be. And if they messed some of that up, it would ruin the clues because they would look for something in a place that the clue said and it wasn't there. So you had to be very meticulous as the keeper, to where whenever I did it, I set the game up by myself, like the day before anybody came over, or at least like a while before anybody came over, and had everything perfect and like double checked and triple checked everything and had it done. So the setup time on this game was ridiculous, to where you couldn't just pull it out and play it. Second edition comes out, and it takes all that away. Like, it's now all going to be driven by an app. All of the stuff is going to be inside that. I'm really wondering about the puzzles in this game. This game has a ton of puzzles that, like, there's like little things where you got to twist pieces and put pieces together. It's all very like unique. And if they integrate that into the app itself, that could be crazy, because they could come up with anything, you know?
They could cut out so much component weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be
just
ridiculous.
Like, here, just look at the phone.
And it'll also make sure people can't cheat on the puzzles and stuff like that, because it'll be like, okay, you're playing this character, you have this much, because normally you have intelligence that allows you to do a certain number of moves. So it's like, okay, I'm this smart, I can move this wire here and turn this wire there and draw a new wire tile for this, and now I'm out of actions. Where if you're playing the regular game, it'd be like, oh, well, how many have you used? Well, I'm not sure. And if your keeper's kind of lenient, you can just be like, oh, well, I mean, I think I have one more or whatever. Oh, now I'm going to use my luck thing so I can get some extra because I think I can do it now. No. So it's going to make it so it's a cooperative game, fully cooperative. There's no keeper. And it's also going to, the maps are going to be slightly randomized at the beginning of each game. So even though you play through the same scenario, it's going to be you're exploring a different dungeon, things are going to be in different places, and it adds more replayability. Because even with Mansions of Madness, huge awesome game, but if you play through the same scenario, there'll be slight variations, but the map's going to be the same, and the story for the most part is going to be the same. I mean, there's a little bit of variations.
There's three different options.
It'll be like,
per map.
Okay, the body's not buried in the garden, it's buried, or it's hidden in the closet instead. Now it'll be wide open, and especially if they continue to upgrade it. Another thing that made me like want this is that everything, or all of the tiles, character investigators, and the monsters are all gonna be taken over into the second edition. So if you have the first edition, you can click a little button just like you do in the Descent game, and you can add all that into your game too. Oh my gosh.
What makes me like even more excited about this is last year at Gencon, Roy and I talked to Christian Peterson after their in-flight report, and we asked him a couple questions. And my question was, "Listen, bro, I love Mansions of Madness. Anything coming out?"
It was funny though, because you said, "I love Mansions of Madness. It's my favorite cooperative game," and he said, "It's not a cooperative game. There's a guy that you're playing against." And you're like, well, I think it's a cooperative game. Well, the game they're coming out with now definitely is a cooperative game.
Yeah. And he said, just hold on. You know, the future for Mansions is not over. And so it's like he's fulfilling a promise just to me.
He is. I'm pretty sure.
And so
I don't know why you just crapped all over his company at the beginning of this podcast, but, you know.
It's not him. It's Asmodee, which
he doesn't own Asmodee.
He's the CEO of Asmodee North America.
He doesn't
so it's pretty close.
Asmodee.
He doesn't, yeah.
And he's just the guy running it.
But it made sense for Asmodee to buy FFG. I mean, it makes sense because FFG wanted to get into the international market more than they already were. FFG is really big U.S. based. Asmodee is really big in Europe and other places, so that made sense. Anyway, I don't want to get into that.
Not
But I'm really
again.
excited. You know who Asmodee needs to buy out? They need to buy out the country of Greece. Don't say Haba.
Anyway, Matt, have you come up with a game yet?
I came up with 3, but I'll just narrow it down to the one. It's going to be really strange, but I am excited about a little game called Junk Art.
No, bro, that's on my list with Pretzel Games.
Yeah.
Yes, that's like the adult version of Rhino Hero,
Right. Exactly. I saw it and I was just like,
and they're big pieces too.
yeah, I need this.
Yeah.
Oh, so the thing I got real grumpy about is just like Rhino Hero, they have a bigger version with like huge pieces. I was just like, and I don't know if it's going to be for sale. If it is, I'm buying that one because screw the tiny pieces. I've got to make actual statues. But I don't know.
I'm buying that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's just like, it's goofy, it's small, it's lightweight. It's exactly what I look for in games that I would buy because I can take it anywhere and just plop it out and be like, hey man, you wanna just do some random things? I really don't know how to describe it. Let's just go. And it happens. It's fine.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Brandon, do you have another one for us?
Oh, we're allowed to do more than one?
Oh,
do it.
never mind.
Just freaking say a
no.
couple of them, man. We're just here to talk about the new games coming out.
Man.
Junk Art was definitely one on the list
yeah.
too. It looks awesome. I bought Flick 'em Up last year, and that game's great to play, and a lot of my friends enjoy it. So this one looks real good too. That one looks good too. Other than that, I mean, there's a bunch of games. I don't know. There's only so much money to go around.
For sure. I'm trying to not get too excited about
Right?
games because I can't afford any of them.
It's
Hey man,
all right.
that's okay. We get paid while we're there.
Still got to pay the mortgage somehow.
Fair point.
I'll go next. I am excited for the last Friday. I am very, very pumped for this. I was pumped for this before the reviews started coming in recently. We did a podcast like late last year, early this year, and it was what's an IP or a concept you would like to see made? And I was like, hey man, this would be a lot of fun to have like Spectre Ops but reverse. There's a killer trying to get everybody. And then I wrote down about 4 or 5 pages of rules, and Matt was like, hey man, give that to me in a Google Doc and I'll make some changes. Well, like 32 pages later, we had an idea for like a board game, and it was this game. And then this game was debuted at the Gamma Trade Show. It was either that or the New York
You say
Toy
it was
Fair.
this game, like this is actually the game. It is not the
Okay.
same game. It was the same
Okay,
concept.
but here's the thing.
Not
Same
exactly.
concept,
Rob and
but
Matt are
my
taking
idea-
credit for this game.
My idea for the board had the creek, had the cabins. It was outside. It was totally like Jason running you around at a campgrounds, and that's exactly what this game is. And so it's just, and what's cool about this, Matt, is the rounds. There's 4 rounds. It flip flops. One round, the hunted turns into the hunters, and then round the hunt. Yeah, it's like they get weapons and now they're fighting back. But then something will happen and they'll lose their weapons and now they're trying to run again. And you play
it's
in
like
4
Pac-
rounds. It is
kind of like Pac-Man.
Okay.
But I'm very
Got that power,
excited for
baby.
this, and so that is my game that they stole. But I'm not gonna fight them on it. I mean, whatever.
I mean, I wanna
You
play
guys-
it just so I can go, oh look, ideas, and then put it into my game.
It's
Right?
funny because you guys like super wanted this game, and then I'm like, oh look, there's like people that are like publishing that game just a little bit ago. If anybody knows anything about the design/publishing process, that means
Oh,
they
it's
came up
taken
with
them
this
a while.
forever
Like 2 years
ago.
ago, yeah.
Like forever ago. It's been in the works for a long time. You're
Yeah.
just prophesying is what you're doing. So
Yeah.
That's what I do. But I've got more games I could throw out there real quick. I'll let you guys go.
awesome. I know this game came out at like Origins, but I really want to try Mystic Veil, which is a deck building game with like clear cards where you're building the cards themselves. So you're getting cards, like you have certain cards in your deck, but then you're putting clear cards in sleeves to make the cards better. And
Yeah.
I think that the drawing mechanic is like a lot different than other deck builders. Like you can continue to draw cards, but you basically like bust if you draw too many of the same symbols. So you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna hit me. Okay, hit me. Okay, oh no. And if you try to build your deck, like some of the more powerful cards will have that symbol that will screw up your turn. but you can try to like mitigate that and figure out ways to make it where you can continue to draw cards and continue to combo without losing everything that you had. So yeah, Mystic Veil looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we said any of your other ones, Matt?
No. Well, The Last Friday was one of my other ones, but mostly just because I don't want to buy it. I do just want to play it because it is kind of that game that me and Rob were like, yes, we need this. We need this in our lives. But one of the other ones I'm excited about, I don't know that I'm that excited about it. I just want to see how it goes. Is Chronicles 1 Origins?
Yes.
The other Legacy game that's coming out. That's kind of like a Civilization game where you're like building stuff, and yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting.
It's only out for a demo though.
I know, and I might try to demo it. I don't know. It's
Hey,
probably
if you
gonna be
do,
super
text me.
busy.
I'll join you because that's also a Rob Davio game, and I'm very interested in playing that too. So I may meet up with you and demo that with you.
Yeah, because I'm just interested to see how it works. It's definitely one of the ones that I want to demo, to kind of get a better feel for things.
Nice.
But yeah, I was gonna say I can keep going. I've got like 32 tabs open, but
Oh no.
nah, it's a lot of them are things I don't even know. I just went, oh, this box is pretty, so who knows?
Nice.
But yeah,
Well, I know we've talked about it a few times, but I still want to look and check out the War of the Ring expansion that's also coming out from Ares Games.
Yes,
Mostly 'cause
Warriors of Middle Earth.
Yeah, I love War of the Ring. It's like my second favorite game of all time just because it's so epic and huge. And I was listening to the Secret Cabal / Dice Tower podcast that they did for it, and Tom was like, oh, there's this War of the Ring expansion coming out, but nobody plays that. I'm like, what? Nobody plays that? You're wrong. That game is amazing. I think he's moved on to Battle of the Five Armies, but if you haven't tried War of the Ring itself, it is Lord of the Rings in a box, and it's amazing. So I'll continue to talk about how amazing that game is because it doesn't stop being amazing.
Yeah.
And just having freaking ints and the
dead men.
the dead men in there, and the Corsairs of Umbar with like a bunch of ships and stuff coming across the sea. Like, I'm super excited to see how all that stuff works in the game and makes the game even more thematic than it already is, which I don't know if that's possible, but just adds more stuff. So
Cool.
Another game I am excited for, and I'll be real quick on this because I have another one I want to talk about after this, is Star Trek Ascendancy. That one just looks really cool. I'm more of a Star Wars fan, but my dad is a big Star Trek fan, so of course I watch the Star Trek shows and movies and stuff like that, but I like the idea of space exploration and, moving on the board and having the different races and stuff like that. So that is something that I'm going to buy because...
That's cool.
Yeah. Anybody else have another game?
I think I'm good.
The one
Okay.
I did forget. Well,
Go.
Go on.
No, you go.
Go.
Captain Sonar looks really awesome.
Yeah,
I-
that does look awesome. I've heard good things.
The turn-based game, as I think we've all heard, doesn't look so great, but the
Real
real
time.
time looks awesome. And those are always a hit with everyone I play games with. So it'd be cool having one of those.
So
What was it called?
What is Captain Sonar and what is it? Will you describe the game to us, Brandon?
Me? Oh, I see. I don't even know that much about it. I just seen a few videos. I just know you're like, aren't you captaining? You are both have
piloting
submarines.
a submarine.
Yeah, there's two
Yes,
different
exactly.
teams piloting. They're each piloting submarines. There's different positions. It kind of reminds me of Space Cadets Dice Duel, but I don't think there's
Yeah.
like dice or anything like that in it. It's just two teams piloting submarines trying to find each other because there's actually like this weird mechanic with like transparencies and different things where you're trying to like draw, like where they were and they're talking about. There's a person who's actually like the guy who just like listens to the other
Sonar.
players. Like, he's the sonar person, and he listens to what they're saying, like where they're saying that they're moving, and he's drawing this on a transparency, and then he puts that over the map to try to like figure out where they are, so you can go there and like shoot them. It's like super crazy stuff. I heard tons of awesome stuff, but this game has to be played with like 8
They
plus
say it's
people.
best with 8 because it's 2 teams of 4 or up to 4.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like you know the game Artemis,
Yes.
where it's like it sounds like that, but just board games and it's player versus player.
It is a lot like that because Space Cadets Dice Duel is very much like Artemis, but a dice game where you're spastically rolling dice. So.
Being frantic and crazy.
Yes. Yeah, awesome. What was your last one, Rob?
It's gonna sound a little cheesy, but I am a Harry Potter fan. I am very much looking forward to Harry Potter and the Battle of Hogwarts. I will say that that is a theme this year is card games. There are so many card games or hand management games that are coming out this year, and that kind of turns me off because I want the components and the plastic and stuff like that. But I am a Harry Potter fan, and so I'm very excited to get this game and play it. And the MSRP is not terrible on the game, so it's coming out, and I'll already be at that booth anyway, getting the Risk Star Trek 50th Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
So might as well pick up a copy of this too.
Were there any
Might
games?
as well just throw money in the air.
Are there any games that you guys are excited to demo? Like you really want to like play? Maybe it's not coming out, but they're gonna be there. I know one for me that I really want to demo is the new Gameling Games Tiny Epic game, Tiny Epic Quest.
Yes.
They just released the art for that today. And it's
That
like
looks
it's like
beautiful.
Zelda.
Unbelievable.
Like the art
Yeah.
is Zelda, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to play this game. So I'm super excited about trying that out because I like a lot of the Tiny Epic games, and it'll be cool to see how exactly that game works, especially since it's got a lot of that feel. And it's supposed to be like, I guess, a little bit sandboxy too, so you can like run around and do different things. So that looks exciting. I also want to try out their Heroes of Land, Earth, and Sea game that they're doing as well, because it's supposed to be a fantasy 4X game. And
it's gonna be a big box too, right?
it's going to be a big box, and the miniatures are going to be made by Chad, who did like the Mice and Mystics miniatures and the Tail Feathers miniatures. So I'm expecting the miniatures to be amazing for that game as well. So I want to check and see if they have like the miniatures and see like how the demo looks on that too, to see if that's something that will be interesting. But yeah, Gameling Games has a few things coming out that's going to be exciting. Do you guys have any games that you're looking forward to demoing?
Yes.
Basically.
Well, I talk a lot, but you guys go.
Go for it.
So I mean, like I said, Chronicles 1 Origins, I would like to demo.
Yes.
Another game, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know how packed it's gonna be. But the Thunderbirds Above and Beyond game that Matt Leacock did.
Is that the
Yeah.
same one, or is that an expansion? Because I know Thunderbirds came out a while ago.
I think it's like a reprint.
Gotcha.
And I've never played it. So if it's there and it's being demoed, like I like the I don't know, the theme of the art of it. So it's one of those things I'd be like, yeah. But, you know, I don't know.
Awesome.
Cool. I am very interested to demo The Others by Eric Lang. That is a game that I'm punching myself for not backing on Cool Mini or not. It looks amazing. He is really passionate about it, and the last game that he got really passionate about was Blood Rage. And so it's like, okay, Eric Lang, Cool Mini or not, minis and components, crazy story. Yep, I want this game. And so it doesn't come out till later on this year, but they are gonna have. I know they demoed it a lot last year at Gencon, because that's all I saw Eric Lang do actually last year at Gencon.
Just demo
That's
the
when I
others.
took my awkward photo with him. He was actually demoing The Others. I touched his hair, and I took a picture, and he gave me a look like, what are you doing? Because his hair made like a pyramid at the front, and I was just like, bro, that's on purpose. I got to touch it. And so,
Okay.
Illuminati
But,
confirmed.
right.
Oh, man.
But that's the game I'm most excited to demo, just because if it's as good as I think I'll probably get a lot of the expansions and stuff like that.
Cool. Brandon, do you have anything you want to demo?
Nothing specifically. I do want to try if I can at level 99 Millennium Blades, because
Yeah.
I've seen
It's
that
a
come
lot of
around
fun,
everywhere.
man.
Yeah,
And
those two have played it.
Yeah, I keep seeing pictures of it, and I can't get my hands on a copy, and none of my friends have one around here, so I'm like, let's try it, and then if they have a copy there, maybe pick one up. I know they had a Kickstarter going for a while for the second printing or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, that if I can try that with someone, that'd be cool.
It's a lot of fun. Good game. Crazy artwork. And one thing, Matt, and I noticed is all the artwork is done by one guy who's more than earned his money. Um,
It's like
But it just-
600 cards in the base game.
yeah. And now, granted, there's copies and duplicates and stuff, but like,
Still.
there's different decks that have different themes, and it's just like he had to come up with all these concepts. But a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Just it's gonna be. It takes a while to put together.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why I want to demo it.
yeah. But,
Yeah.
Good game. Good game.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to demo. I mean, I probably want to play the Mansions of Madness because I'm sure they're gonna have the second edition demoing out on the
We'll
floor
play.
there. Definitely, and I mean we'll play Rob's copy if he gets the copy too. But and then just anything that they announce at the in-flight report, they're like, oh, check out this cool new game that we're having, demoing that. Just like last year I demoed Roombound, and that was a lot of fun. And I just want to demo all the new hot games. I just want to go around
Yeah.
the floor, just demoing,
Yeah.
checking out things. As a podcaster, I want to be able to play these games and see what they're like so I can report back to you guys so we can see which games look like they're cool. You guys should look into more. We're probably going to try to do another episode again, like after Gen Con, just talking about every single game we played and all the new hotness that's crazy and what our first impressions and thoughts are on those games. So,
I would also like to demo Game of Thrones: The Iron Throne.
oh yes.
That will not come out at Gen Con, but they are saying that it's going to be out for demo, and so I'm very excited for that.
We haven't talked about that on the podcast, have we?
No, because it was recently announced,
Right.
like within the last 2 weeks.
So Game of Thrones: The Iron Throne is a re-implementation of Cosmic Encounter in the Game of Thrones universe. So it's not like a reskin. So they changed some of the mechanics of Cosmic Encounter, but they made it very similar, and you're trying to do influence and gain influence on a certain number of characters to be able to win the game, but it's got some differences too. And that seems super interesting because like you have each house is going to be like the different colors in the thing, but then you have different characters in that house. Like you could be, okay, well this game I'm going to be playing with Ned Stark, and no, this game I'm going to play the Starks again, but I'm going to be playing with Arya Stark, and this time I'm going to be playing with Bran, and like they just like all these different characters like you have in Cosmic Encounter, but it's in the Game of Thrones universe with these cool little crowns that you're placing on the other characters for influence. Looks super exciting. If you like Game of Thrones, and I love Cosmic Encounter, which is a great game, so I don't see how this one could be bad, you know.
It looks fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, are there any awesome events that you have planned to attend? I can start. I know that I am going to on Thursday. There is a pod or a do's and don'ts of board game media that Tom Vassell from the Dice Tower, Jamie from the Secret Cabal, and Rodney Smith from Watch It Played are all putting together, and they're going to talk about board game media and like ways to make that better and do different things. So I'm super intrigued and excited to hang out with those guys because they're super awesome dudes, and see what they say about board game media. Seeing that they're pretty big in board game media. I mean, you know, you guys probably haven't heard of them because we're Epic Gaming Night. You're probably like solo fans of just us, but you know, those guys are pretty cool too. So
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I got a ticket to that one too.
nice.
me too.
I'm planning on going to the Dice Tower live taping.
Nice.
You guys going to that one?
Yes.
No. Oh no. Oh yeah, Fantasy Flight.
I don't.
Duh. I forgot. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll actually be busy during both of those because they decided to do them at the same time, and I'm already committed to something else.
Oh.
Rob's gonna talk about the one thing he's gonna be doing like the entire time at Gen Con,
Other
Yes.
than buying games.
other than buying games and running around trying to buy games.
Yeah,
Hoping the
I
line
am.
ends.
I am doing Ashes tournament all day Friday. I'm doing the 9 a.m. tournament and the 3 p.m. tournament. And then I'm doing Saturday morning a draft, which we
Cool.
did a draft last night on TTS. Man, I suck at drafting. Like I can
Get
I can
good,
really
Rob.
Well, I've already played a couple games, and I've gotten people down to like their last life but I haven't been able to finish it off. But I'm like, man, if I just had my cards for my pre-constructed deck, this wouldn't even be an issue. Or not pre-constructed, but from my constructed deck. So anyway, I'm really excited about Ashes, and I'm really excited for this tournament. I'm gonna take this tournament like semi-seriously, you know. So like, come say hi to me, but like if I'm losing and you're around, get away.
So, so hopefully you do pretty good, and all this Ashes talk on the podcast will have paid off.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get wrecked, but I'm gonna have a blast.
How many you got to represent?
Hey, I'm gonna have our playmat down.
It's gonna have that epic gaming night playmat.
I don't know if my shirt will
Looks
be there.
kind of like this, but better.
It will. It will.
Fat guy size. 'Cause I ordered double fat guy size.
Yes.
Double
yes,
fat guy
yes.
size.
I promise. I promise.
Comes
I
with a
promise.
hamburger.
Bro, does it really come with a hamburger? Can I
No.
order another one?
No.
I'll just buy you a hamburger. It'll be fine.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's awesome. Awesome. I don't really have a whole lot of events planned for Gen Con. I'm going to be doing a lot of helping out at the Gray Fox booth, like I said before. So that takes up a decent amount of my time. But I like to leave it pretty open for Gen Con just because there's such a huge exhibition hall. Like the exhibition hall was huge last year, and they made it 25% bigger. Like I can't even comprehend. Like you could not look at it all last year. It's going to be just impossible to look at everything this year. And I'm going to be spending a lot of time demoing games. So I'm just going to be running around Exhibition Hall trying to see cool stuff, take pictures of stuff, throw it up on our Instagram so you guys can check it out. And try to talk with people about different things and hit up a bunch of my friends, different designers we've had on the show before and different publishers and stuff like that. So I'm just super excited about hanging out with gamers because you can't walk anywhere without running into another gamer. So Gen Con's pretty awesome.
Definitely.
Oh, it was awesome. Real quick side note, we were at Mega MooseCon this weekend, and Roy and I walk in at the same time, and this person's like, Roy, oh my gosh, Epic Gaming Night, how are you? So excited you're here. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I get it. He does all the videos and stuff like that. I was like, hi, I'm Robert. Can I get my pass? Thanks. Didn't even say anything, but I was just like, yeah, give me my pass. Shut up. You know?
Hey, can you imagine if I were there? They would just be like, just no idea who I am.
I post pictures of you guys all the time. So, but they might recognize Hector more than you two guys because I post pictures of Hector all the time too, and he is a good-looking man. I'm just kidding.
Hector, he's not Brandon Pleshik level, but he's hot. Brandon, you have no idea how excited I am to be sleeping with you, buddy.
Oh God.
I don't know. Well, you'll see. You'll just see.
I mean, I might be able to talk to some people, Brandon, if you want to try to find a different room to get into. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I can't afford anybody else to back out. Like, I'm already paying.
Well, stop scaring them away. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm excited.
Aw.
Nice.
Just tell your boo I got you covered.
Sounds good.
Nice. I think we're all also planning on going to the Secret Cabal meetup. So if you guys want to hang out with us or see us, that place is going to be ridiculous when they're doing the raffle and giveaway. If you don't know, the Secret Cabal has a meetup at Gen Con every year, and it's
Do you have to get a ticket for that?
Alexander Bar. Nope.
Just show up.
At 8 p.m. on Saturday, and there's going to be a bunch of
get tanked.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of our friends going there, a bunch of other podcasters and media guys that are going to be up in there, and a bunch of publishers too. And it's just ridiculous. The amount of people was so crowded, but then after they did all the giveaways, it cleared out pretty hardcore, and we were just able to sit around and play games and have a good time last year. Me and
awesome.
Brandon and our friend Jake, who does the Draft Mechanic podcast, had a lot of fun just playing games. And hanging out with Rodney Smith and the Secret Cabal guys for a long time. So we're definitely going to that, and that'll almost be closing out the convention at that point because that'll be
because we're gonna leave
Saturday
Sunday.
night. So
yeah, I'm also going to some writing workshops if anybody wants to go learn how to write about trees and bushes. Just
a quick note, a little birdie told me that there might be T-shirts for the Secret Cabal at their meetup. There might be.
Hey.
Maybe.
You heard it on our podcast first? Seems weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, we plugged their
maybe.
stuff enough already.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding. Awesome.
You're
I like
allowed
how
to say whatever
trepidatious
you want to
you are
say on
about
the
it.
show.
What?
I said you could say whatever you want to say on the show.
For sure.
Oh man, good stuff.
Good
So
stuff.
what's next?
So what is next? What do you guys think the best part of Gen Con for you is? I know, Matt, you haven't gone yet, but
Nope.
What are you guys most excited for, and what do you think the best part's going to be?
Food.
Bro, the food trucks outside, Matt, you're gonna love.
Legit. They're good.
Don't eat anything inside. The only thing you need to order inside the
Oh,
convention
no.
center
No.
is a drink. Don't order their
You
food,
don't,
just
you don't
order a drink.
understand. If I am hungry or thirsty, I am leaving the convention center completely. I might even like get a cab to go somewhere else to eat, like good places. That's what I do when I go to new cities. I'm just like, okay, let's get on Yelp and see what's really highly recommended. And then I'm just like in crazy places eating stupid good food.
Okay,
So that's
if you
what
do
I do.
that for real, text me. I will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
want to
For
go.
sure. I just get the distinct feeling me and Hector are just going to be like hanging out. And we're gonna be like, man, you hungry? Yeah, let's go get a burger. And so we'll just like look up burger places or something. I don't know.
Okay,
I'll hit you up though. I got you, boo.
let me know.
Honestly, I'm just excited to see you guys and hang out with the new friends that I made last year. I went there with not knowing a lot of people last year, and now I have some friends that I'm looking forward to playing games with again. And games are also fun, but hanging out with friends is cool too.
Last year, Fresh was like such an awesome experience, like getting to meet like some different people. But this year, we kind of like know a bunch of different people around, so I'm super excited to like get to talk to a lot of the people we've interviewed in podcasts, be able to say, hey, what's up, and talk to any fans. Like if anybody shows up and says hey to us, like if somebody comes up to us and is like, oh my gosh, I listened to your podcast, it's just gonna like mean the world to us. We're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what? Matt
Yeah, I
won't
really
believe
will.
this.
Yeah, I really will flip out if that happens.
But yeah, and seeing Brandon and seeing all these guys, because we haven't seen you since last year, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome seeing all the people that we never get to see, but we talk to all the time on social media and through email and through having them on our podcast and things like that. So it'll be cool to hang out with
Bro,
all these
some
cool people. in the
crazy
industry.
fans. We have some crazy fans. Brandon, I'll tell you on the after show the story. I told Roy the story.
Okay,
Bro,
cool.
some crazy stuff. I'm excited to meet our fans, but this one fan I don't want to meet. I don't want to meet just for safety reasons.
Nice.
I'm excited actually for the people and the energy. I am one of those people where I feed off of energy. And big crowds don't freak me out. Big crowds freak me out if everyone's being jerks. But the good thing about board game conventions is majority of people are nerds, and so they're real nice and they're real passive aggressive. They're jerks while you're playing board games with them. They're mean to you then, but in real life they're like, "Oh, don't touch me." And so I say that to say it's like they're nice. And so big crowds full of a lot of nice people who are all there in the same common goal to meet other people and play games. I'm really excited about cruising the hall and playing Ashes and meeting fans and and meeting people or hanging out with people like Brandon and some other people that we've met while doing the show, and just people's energy, just good times. Like last year was such a blast when we were waiting for the Dice Tower when we played Spyfall, and we just brought in some random people waiting in line with us. Like I love stuff like that impromptu, let's play a game and just hang out.
Yeah.
Like I'm very, very excited for that.
It's kind of funny because like my normal experience with like huge crowds is being like at bands and like concerts and stuff like that. So it's so weird to be like, I like when we were trying to get to the front of the line at Gen Con, I was like, yeah, let's do this. And I'm like trying to like get my way through, and you and Steven were all like, oh, I don't know. I'm just like getting my way up there. Everybody's like moving out of the way for the tattooed like hardcore guy with the gauges or whatever, because they're all like, oh, who's this guy, like what? And my experience is like pushing my way to the front of the stage at like Warped Tour, and like I'm all in this like let's mosh mode because like that's what I'm used to, but like everybody else was like, we're just here to buy board games, calm down, man. But I'm like, yeah, let's get hyped, guys, and they're all like, what? No. So I have a lot of fun.
Definitely.
So But yeah, and then the other thing that I'm really looking forward to is just seeing all the new stuff and demoing all the new stuff and just seeing all the pretty things everywhere.
I'm not.
Because you just look around.
I'm really not.
I can't afford anything, so I just have to look at all the things.
Your wallet's not.
That's exactly it. Like,
I like to think of it as entirely separate entities.
This will be my third year going to Gen Con, and the least amount of games I ever bought at Gen Con was 12. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but over half of that 12 was like $75+.
It sounds awful. Even at $20 a piece, that's $240, man.
So I'm really not looking forward to.
You know how many games I bought last year? 3.
Hey.
Wait. Was it? Yes, 3.
Hopefully, the Ashes tournament will keep me from buying so much this year. And the other thing is, like, I've pre-ordered a lot of games, so like I'm not going to mad rush to Seafall. I've thought about it a lot, but there's other games that I want. But Seafall is going to go crazy. It's been on the hype train for years to come, and so I'm not even going to try to just fight that. But I've already pre-ordered it, so like to me, I bought it, which I did. I mean, they charged my card, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I own it. It's not in yet, so it's like stuff like that I'm not going to flip out about. But so yeah. Anyway. I'm not excited about the game part.
I don't mean to give you bad wishes at all, but I am going to be very interested to see if you get stuck in line for long enough that you have to
don't even
conflicted as to whether or not you need to buy this game or go to the Ashes tournament. Because I can definitely see that.
No. The Ashes tournament is Friday.
If he's in line for an entire day.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you this. I plan on doing the majority of my buying Thursday and maybe a couple things on Saturday. Like, Thursday is going to be like, oh, me, big man, you move. Like, get out of the way type of a thing. Saturday, I'll be like, you know what? We can charge it on the credit card. I won't tell my wife till after I get back. Friday will be, not Friday, Thursday will be, yeah. Nice. And then Sunday on the drive home, it's going to be like, guys, seriously, if you tell Marlo, guys, like, I know you don't really talk to my wife, but if you tell Marlo, I swear I'm done.
Everybody's on the ride back home, like, really happy. We're, like, singing songs, arm in arm. Rob's just crying at the wheel.
Well, like, you guys maybe put, like, a social media post and you tag me in it so that way my wife definitely sees it. Yeah, don't do stuff like that.
Like, last year, you had all the games laid out on the bed so I could take a picture of them. Just make sure not to post that on Facebook. Post it on Instagram.
Post it, just don't tag me in it. Just be like, look at the games we got, because we got them.
I'll just say Trevor got it, because it'll be totally believable.
That is true. Yeah.
Nice. So do you guys have any tips for attending Gen Con or any other big convention like Gen Con?
Yes. Several. First.
Shower?
Foremost. Shower. Hygiene is definitely a big thing, and actually my first tip has to go with hygiene. Cool idea, cool tip. If you're going to be staying in a room like us, we're going to have several people in our room. I like to bring trash bags for my dirty clothes. Don't just throw them around. You will be surprised how many people's body sweat rubs off on you or your own sweat because it's going to get hot. You got 60,000 plus people crammed into an area. And then to go get the good food or the good food around the area, you have to go out and walk, and it's all pavement, so it's going to cook you as you're traveling to and fro. So bring a trash bag for your dirty clothes, and so that way you can be considerate of the other people in your room with you, and that way it's not just nasty and like moving when it shouldn't be moving because you're not wearing it. That's my first tip.
I'm writing that down right now.
It is
trash bag,
bro,
for sure.
I'm not even lying. I bought some. I bought some trash bags the other day, and they had like the Febreze scented things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, these are so great. I'm taking a couple of these with me to Gen Con. Just because, like, I'm a big guy, and now I wear deodorant, I wear cologne, I take a shower on a daily basis. But when you're running around for 12 plus hours, and you got people just bumping, because sometimes it's not even me, but have you ever been bumped into with the guy who's got bad BO, and you just smell it all day for the rest of the day? Like, that's probably going to happen at least once or twice. There's going to be people that haven't showered since last Gen Con. And so, like, just bring stuff so you don't kill everybody.
Oh, man.
Is that too bad, Roy? No? All right, you guys go. I got.
My tip is figure out which game, like if you really want to get like the hot new games, figure out which one you want the most and just try to get the one game. Like if you're trying to get all of it, like if you're trying to get Seafall and Mansions of Madness and XYZ, like all the hot games, it's probably not going to happen for you necessarily because there's going to be huge long lines. You got to wait in. Just go for the one game and then just try to enjoy your time like going around the exhibition hall because you're not – I mean, yeah, there's going to be stuff that's going to sell out and you're not going to be able to get – try not to get disappointed about that and just enjoy your time there. But yeah, just know which game you want the most and focus on that one as opposed to have a plan to go to other ones, but know which one you want the most when you're headed in. So,
Yep.
whichever one you think will sell out the most. Like I think the if you're trying to get Seafall, like I think it's gonna be super limited. Like you need to be in the front of that line. So
It really is because I think they're only bringing like 400 to maybe 500 copies, and that sounds like a lot. But when you're at a convention that last year averaged 67,000 people a day,
yeah.
that's not a lot.
I would just say take breaks because last year I pushed it a little too hard a few of the days,
Yeah.
and it was nice to just sit down and just like find a cool area and just chill.
That's actually a really good idea.
That or also have a beer with you there. I'm from Wisconsin, so a good cool place and a beer is always a good thing.
Yes.
I thought that means you should have cheese because you're from Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, cheese and brats, Packers,
Dude.
those things.
If we can find a place that has good deep fried cheese curds, I am all about that.
Oh, I would still bring some for you because there's like 5
If they would
places.
work, I know.
I know, within like a block of my house, I could get that.
Are they good
think-
warmed up?
No, you gotta get those fresh up.
It's,
Yeah.
So I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, never mind.
If I can get my hand on some good cheese to bring, I'll see. I could do that because there's some good stuff nearby.
Bro, we throw down cheese in our game group.
Dude, it's great.
Pretty-
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife talked about
And-
going dairy free, and I'm like, that's impossible.
No.
It's in my DNA.
I was like, do you know where we live?
Exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely take breaks. There's lots of, I mean, if you go like on the top floor, like in different places, I know I was hanging out with Brandon for a while, like just chilling out, like in like one of the top floors in like a corner. You can just chill out, like, and that's another reason it's good to have like some smaller, lighter games that don't really take much brain power because you're going to be half brain dead from running around and interacting with people all the time. Have nice, light filler games to play. Like we played lots of like Rhino Hero type stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like super great filler game that didn't cause you to burn your brain out even more than you already are running all over this place trying to find stuff. So,
Brandon, do you like Rhino Hero?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Did
yeah.
you listen to our podcast with Haba when she came on?
I did.
Bro, the deluxe super Rhino Hero with multiple towers? Come on, right?
Yeah, I know.
If they demo that, I would accidentally steal that prototype.
Whoops.
I mean, come on, that sounds amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know this last piece of, or not last, but this piece of advice I'd give right here, it sounds kind of corny, but just enjoy yourself. Have fun. Like, there's going to be people running around and going crazy, and it's going to be very packed and stuff like that, but have a good time. Try to enjoy yourself. If you don't get your game, the good thing about today's industry is you'll be able to get it like a week later. You know, you can pre-order it. You don't have to worry all the hustle and bustle because you're not going to get a deal at Gen Con. They're not going to sell you like half-price games at Gen Con. Their booths are so expensive. In fact, the Dice Tower, they just made a comment about this on their last podcast. It is more expensive for them to go to Gen Con than it is for them to go to Essen, which is in Europe. Is it Essen that's in Europe?
Yeah.
Their big Europe convention. It's cheaper for them to fly over to Europe and have a booth there than to go to Gen Con. So I say that to say things are going to be full price, but just enjoy yourself. Have a good time. You know, if there's plenty of people that will play a board game, come out of your shell a little bit because a lot of board gamers are introverts. Just come out of your shell and just meet people, but just try to enjoy yourself, you know, because if you let it overwhelm you, it can overwhelm you. It is the biggest board gaming convention in the United States.
Yeah.
So just don't let it do that.
And there's going to be way more stuff than you can actually even see going on there. And it's easy to feel like you're just constantly missing out, like, all the time. I mean, you can be seeing all this crazy stuff and awesome stuff, but you always feel like, well, I got some friends over there doing that and friends over there doing that. And you're always feeling like you can't be a part of everything, and you just can't. So just try to relax and enjoy the things that you're doing in the current, and don't stress out too much about being here or there too much. So.
And meet your heroes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that analogy, never meet your hero, they're going to let you down. But, like, I have not met somebody in the board gaming industry that I have not really grown to like and appreciate. Everybody is super cool. They are a lot of fun. They're real relaxed, and they're all gamers themselves. So, like, if you have a developer or if you have a designer that you like, go say hi, meet him, give him a high five. Podcaster. The only one I would be worried about is Stephen Avery.
No, say hey to him always.
No, Stephen
That
Avery is
guy
amazing.
is insane.
That guy is
In the
amazing. He
best
just
way.
doesn't have a filter, so just know that going to meet him. But no, everyone in this community, I mean, even Brandon Pleshik, super cool guy. He loves board games so much, he designs shirts for different shows and different events. Like, everyone is really, really cool. So if you see somebody that you're a fan of, just say hi. They'll say hi back. They may even touch you. It's not bad, so.
Unless it is bad touch.
Well, if it's bad touch, you need to talk to somebody. Man, now
If it's
I'm
bad touch,
paranoid.
it's probably interacted with Rob.
Rob said they wouldn't bad touch me.
Oh, man.
Don't touch Matt.
Well,
Rand.
with that leading into that, make sure to say hi to us if you see us at Gen Con. I know if you just listen to the podcast, you might not know what we look like exactly, but if you check us out on our YouTube channel, you can see our faces. And if you come by the Gray Fox booth, I'll be there most of the time. And I'll try to, if you want to talk to Matt and Rob, I'll try to hook you up with them and find them. But we're going to have buttons and dice and awesome stuff to give away. We have these cool Epic Gaming Night dice. So if you come up to us and say, hey, I listened to the podcast, then you might get dice. If you're just some person hanging around, you're not going to get dice. But you have to say, hey, I'm a listener. Like, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, we're kind of limited on our dice.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And they look awesome. So,
They are. Very good.
Chessex don't play.
They really don't.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, does anybody else have any tips or anything else they want to say before we close this thing out?
One random thing.
Sure.
If you are the exact opposite of me and have a very weak immune system, and are scared about Confunk, or are sick going to Gen Con, you can do the Japanese thing and wear one of those cough-aid masks to prevent your germ spread from other people. It might look a little weird, but you're not contaminating hundreds of thousands of people with whatever weird pink eye strain you got, or whatever you happen to be rolling around with. Conversely,
Lots of hand washing.
Yeah,
Smells good.
sanitizer. I mean,
I'm actually bringing
if you're
hand
inclined to it,
sanitizer and a thing of ibuprofen this year.
yeah. If you're into it too, vitamin C supposedly helps, or doesn't. I don't know. It's just something people do around here.
Also, water.
So, yeah.
Drink water.
So,
flush your system. So,
Yeah, man. Don't get the Confunk. That's pretty much it.
yeah.
So before we leave, I want to give Brandon another chance to tell us about Analog Gamer and if there's any updates on what you're doing with the website or any new shirts and stuff that you have up there. So what's going on with Analog Gamer, man?
We have a lot of cool things coming down the pipeline. Some stories I can't quite talk about yet, but they'll be very cool. Actually, at Gen Con, I'm bringing a bunch of shirts to various publishers' booths. So I think Overworld Games, I always say this name wrong, Navu, they make Stockpile. Those Stockpile
nice.
shirts there, Dice
Yeah.
Tower shirts, a few others. So after Gen Con, after we do those, we'll be releasing some of those shirts on the website. Have some very exciting things coming down the pipeline, but can't really spoil them yet.
Hold on,
But
is
be
one
on
of
the
them
lookout.
something that came from a napkin that was written to you
No,
a year
no,
ago?
Never going to happen.
And it had, hey, the one idea was not bad.
No,
The one idea was not bad.
We will talk
Just
about
throwing
this
that
at
out there.
Gen Con. Because we will talk about this at Gen Con.
Uh-huh.
Because they have not left my mind. I promise you that.
because I've talked to you about other shirts too on a different project that I'm doing. That
No,
you know,
I know exactly what shirts you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah.
But I have more info. We'll talk later.
Okay.
But no, yeah,
Because I remember you were like, bro, just write down an idea, just send it my way. So I was like, all right. I think I was like at a McDonald's on our way back. Hey, what if I just drew the stick figures right here? And I got back to the office, I scanned it, and I emailed it to him, and you were like, no, not that one, but that one's not bad. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah, we do need to talk about the other thing though, on a real, because
Definitely.
I'm starting to push that heavy this second half of the year.
Sweet. Sounds
But yeah,
good.
everybody, make sure to check out analoggamer.com. And also, if you put a / Epic Gaming Night on the end of that, you can check out all the stuff we have there. We have our Cool 4X t-shirt, and then also our Epic Gaming Night t-shirt if you want to help support the show and just show people that you're a fan. So that's super awesome.
Also, a side note, I have a few extra glow-in-the-dark shirts yet, but I don't have them on my website. So if anyone is interested, email me at brandon@analoggamer.com, and I might have a few sizes left.
I'm gonna do that right now.
You heard it
Well,
here first.
I have yours in a stack. They're ready, but I'm waiting on 2 shirts.
Double fat guy size?
Yes. No cheeseburger.
No cheeseburger, but I just need it to be big and long.
Yep.
Because I'm tall.
Gotcha.
I'm 6'4". People don't realize that when they see me. They think, oh, he's a handsome fat guy. I never knew fat people could be that handsome. But then they're like, man, he's also really tall. And so,
Nice.
I got you covered.
man, we're gonna cuddle so hard, Brandon. I'm so excited, bro.
Oh my
Man, I am
gosh.
so glad I claimed the bathtub.
Okay, guys. Well, we stream this podcast on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Check us out at youtube.com /C /Epic Gaming Night. Make sure to hit us up on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out at Epic Gaming Night. Also, send any emails or questions to epicgamingnight@gmail.com. And Brandon, where can they find your stuff?
You can go to analoggamer.com and check out the store, and I'm on Instagram at analoggamer and Twitter _analoggamer.
Hype. And make sure to check out Brandon on the Insta Gamers Network.
Yes, that too. Yes, definitely. I've
He's
been doing a few
some
videos. Yes, there actually be a new one coming out on Friday, but I was not able to get my video done in time, so check
Fired.
that out. Yeah, I know. It's Gencon. I'm sorry.
Awesome, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next time. It has been a blast.
Seriously, we're super excited. While he's playing out the music, if you see us at the show, come say hi.
Dice and things. Make sure to give us high fives.
Yes.
Touch Rob's butt.
And I totally love like fan pictures. I will be taking a lot of
Peace.
pictures and posting them on Twitter. So we ended on Touch Rob's butt. You said
Yeah.
you said that, and then you said peace. That's our
So
going
good.
out line.
Yeah.
So
So
excited
good.
to see everybody. Touch Rob's butt. Peace.
I'm pretty sure that was
I
what you
swear,
said
if
last
one
time.
person touches your butt, like on purpose, that's it. That's all I need.
Well, I touched Avery's butt last year at Mace,
Mace,
and when
right?
I saw him at
'cause
Mega
you got a
MooseCon,
picture of it.
well,
Hey.
when I saw him at Mega MooseCon, he's like, "You're not going to touch my butt again." Are you?"
Christopher Pratt said he's looking forward to seeing us at Gen Con.
Oh,
Right.
Christopher. Yeah,
I think we know that guy.
yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, he does the show, the main action. Is
Rob's
that
like,
him or is
look-
that his dad?
It says Christopher Pratt. That's his YouTube handle, so I'm
Well, I
not
think
sure which Pratt it
may
is. If
be-
it's
Yeah, because I think they're
You
both
mean
Chris.
Star-Lord?
it's Star-Lord, obviously.
Yeah, clear.
Star-Lord,
And
duh.
Parks and Rec.
I'm pretty sure he's tired of that joke, but you know.
They're
Hey,
cool
it's-
people. All right, so are we off the air?
No, I know. Do you want us to be?
No, but we're not like recording.
I mean, we're not on the audio, but we're still on the YouTube live.
Okay. Oh, we're still on YouTube. All right. Yeah, I won't tell you the story about the guy yet. then.
I'll turn it off. Thanks, guys, for checking us out. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube if you aren't already. And we'll see you guys at Gen Con or see you on the next podcast. Peace.
See you guys later.